This is your Barbados Today Morning News Update for Tuesday, April 23rd, 2019. Thanks for joining us. I'm Carol Williams. The almost 250 minority shareholders of C&W West Indies Ltd, which trades in Barbados as Flow, are pushing ahead with legal action against the company. And the group is expressing confidence ahead of the mid-July deadline to submit documentation for the pre-trial. Barbados Today's Marlon Madden attended a meeting where the members were given an update.
The minority shareholders are working around the clock to meet a mid-July date by which to submit their own evidence to the court as they prepare for a trial against C&W West Indies Ltd in September. At the center of the dispute is the value of $2.86 that the company has offered per share for the issued and outstanding shares in C&W Barbados. In contesting that valuation, the minority shareholders need to submit their own evidence, including an expert witness evaluation. Attorney at law with the law firm Lex Caribbean, Bartlett Morgan, says they're facing a hurdle in obtaining critical pieces of information.
There are certain documents that are very, very critical to the valuation process, which they still, to this date, have not handed over. And so we are now in the process of attempting amicably to get those documents. If they are turned over in a reasonable period of time, then we may have to take recourse to the courts to get those documents, which are critical for us, so that the expert witness can do his job effectively.
A similar case was brought against the company in Jamaica, and earlier this year, the Supreme Court in that jurisdiction ruled that the minority shareholders in C&W Jamaica can keep their shares for now. Pointing to that experience, Morgan says the judgment proves that the method used by the company to acquire the shares was wrong.
This certainly raises our hopes even higher than they were before, because we were always confident in our case. This is what we do every day. We've been doing this for a little bit of time. Alex, we were confident from the jump that this entire process was wrong. It was done in haste, and as I said at the beginning, it was done with the intent to unfair people, unfair the minority shareholders. And so we're further emboldened in our beliefs as we go towards trial.
The group, made up of both individuals and companies, is seeking a higher valuation for the shares. It's not immediately known how many units of shares the approximately 242 minority shareholders account for, but it's in the millions. Marlon Madden reporting for Barbados Today.
Almost a year after its resounding defeat at the polls, the Democratic Labour Party DLP is reporting growing interest among Barbadians in the party. As the DLP moves to induct additional members this week, President Verla de Pisa says the party is also re-energizing its base. The former ruling party kicked off its 64th anniversary celebrations yesterday with an educational walk. De Pisa says it's important that rank-and-file members understand the party's roots as part of the rebuilding effort.
We're going back to basics. So it is not just about this walk, we also have our induction ceremony. There are approximately 150 persons who have joined the party since May of last year, and we want to thank them very much. Of course, this is not a time when you would think that people would want to be associated with the party, and we are grateful to them, and also we want to use them. We want to put all of these persons who have stood up for the party when things are at its lowest to recognize them and start putting them to work.
The name change did not please some people, but chairperson of the Oistins Festival, Tony Thorne, is standing by the decision. With the annual festival culminating over the Easter holidays, Thorne says she has no regrets about this and some other decisions. She says more sponsors came on board and there were new and innovative stalls. Thorne tells Barbados Today she's pleased with the overall festival, though she says there were some challenges.
The persons that have innovative products, and I'm not talking about the plastic things, the persons that have really innovative products and innovative services will always come out on top. And we have to continue to push that. We have to continue to push local arts, persons that making sandals right across here, these handmade home items. So once we push that, those persons will do well. And I think you can only learn by seeing and doing. And once people see, wait, this person is here, there's a lady over here that I said to her, listen, tomorrow try and hold back some of your things, because she is selling handmade necklaces. And we passed up and our whole team bought some. And when we passed back down, there were barely any. And she's the kind of person that would do well because she makes those herself, and they're wonderfully designed. So persons like her would do well, you know. So at the end of the day, we have to wait till after to see. It's not going to be perfect because we didn't want to put all of our changes this year, but we did put a lot. And I'm just looking forward to hear what people say, the good and the bad, to be honest.
Meantime, Barbadians were reportedly spending less at the festival, and some are blaming this on less disposable income. Thus, according to some vendors who complain of disappointing sales, they're making some recommendations.
This year has been a greater improvement. More persons are anticipating Oistins because they had a lot of different pop-ups until now. So I think that they started to do improvements because the years it have declined. So it's a little better offerings for 2019.
I guess the alignment at the tents, the stalls, have the persons who would sell the fruits, sell the food and juices out front, because persons would be able to see them, and I guess that would draw them in.
I think it's very important that you highlight the uniqueness of the festival, because it then becomes like any other festival. So then it's like Whole Town, it's like Bridgetown Market. So what's unique about Oistins Festival is it's centered around food, and particularly fish.
Nothing like before. Even last year, it wasn't that fantastic, but it was a lot better than this year. A lot more people. It is just like a normal day in Oistins.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Moving to Trinidad and Tobago, where reggae superstar Buju Banton and Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith went public to show there's no bad blood after the artist's hotel room was searched by police on Saturday. At his I Am Legend concert at Queen's Park Savannah, Buju Banton invited the top cop to the stage. Here's a look at some of what transpired.
Buju Banton, I will take a line from your song. How could you ever think Trinidad and Tobago? Don't ever doubt we're your friends. Jalil, right? Alright. And Gigi, Tabibi, Trinidad and Tobago, and Jamaica, allies forever.
Right. You hear that? So when you go on social media, we're going to make it better. The relations between the nations must improve.
Turning now to Sri Lanka, where an emergency law granting police and the military extensive powers to detain and question suspects without court orders is now in effect. It was announced following Easter attacks that killed at least 290 people. We get the details from France 24.
A second night of curfew ordered in Sri Lanka's capital. From 8 p.m. until 4 a.m. Tuesday, no one is allowed in the streets as security forces continue searching for those behind the Easter Sunday assault. St. Sebastian's Church, north of the capital, was one of 3 targeted during Easter Mass. Its roof destroyed, worshippers killed inside. The near simultaneous bombings across the country also targeted hotels, striking tourists at the breakfast buffets. In Colombo, the Shangri-La, the Cinnamon Grand, and the Kingsbury were hit, as well as another hotel opposite Sri Lanka's National Zoo. No one has claimed responsibility yet, but the government says an Islamic extremist group is behind the attacks.
The organization is Tawfiq Jamal, no? National Tawfiq Jamal. This is a local organization, but we don't know whether they have been linked to the outside.
This is the deadliest violence the country has seen since its civil war ended a decade ago.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. And sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Carol Williams. Have a good day.